What is up, YouTube? Today we have Miss Fabulous, Miss Talks a Lot, Miss Chatterbox, whatever you want to call her, and we are going to go over the basics of how to fly a paraglider. Now, when I pull this out, it'll seem like it's very complicated because there's a lot of strings and controls and everything, but in reality it's not that bad. And her goal by the end of today is we're going to have her kiting a paraglider successfully. We got a pretty good wind right now. It's coming out of the north. We'll have a little bit of rotor, but your goal is to essentially get airborne and crash into that building.
I'm really stoked right now.
You should be. So we'll start with the mini wing, because this is my GTR and that is my speed wing, which has a lot less surface area, and we're gonna get you in your harness.
Okay.
So do you remember how to get in that?
I could give it a shot.
So you're essentially, your legs will go on the inside and come right through here on each side, and you just kind of, there you go. So whether you're a new pilot or a senior pilot, I'd say regardless of the amount of hours that you have with a wing, kiting is the best tool that you can do. And why I say that is because it keeps your skills up to par. Kiting, I think, is one of the best I would say practice items you could do, whether it's free flying or paramotoring. And for me, I love kiting because it's fun, and you can simply go to a park and kite your wing on a nice windy day. You can also try things like high wind starts, where you get the wing on one side and you bring it up like an accordion. There's a start called a Cobra start, and it's just really good practice. So when you're in like unfavoring conditions, you know how to bring it down or be safe about it. So if you've seen a paraglider before, you have what is your leading edge. This is where the air will literally come in and it inflates the wing. And you'll have, this is your tip area of the wing and whatnot. So for you, our biggest goal is we want to stay in the center of the wing once we get it inflated. And I'll get this out. And this kind of looks like one giant tangled mess. This looks like a giant tangled mess, and you're probably like, how are you going to get this untangled? Well, the great thing about paragliders is it's all how you put the wing away, that when you do inflate it and pull it out, it should just inflate with ease. Not that I haven't had a tangled wing before. I've spent hours entangling a wing. Now we gotta wait for, of course the wind dies one night, so you can stop it. Nicely, we're gonna build a wall for you.
Beautiful. May I release?
Yes, it will.
Oh, there. Nope.
Oh, you almost got it.
I got some movement. Now what do I do?
You gotta twist it to where that gate can open up. Yep, and then push it open. There you go.
You can do this with long nails, as it turns out.
Yeah, you got this. And you're gonna have your A's facing you, since we're just going backwards right now. Just so you get used to kiting it. Yep, just like that. And you always want to make sure that once your risers are locked in, that these are locked. And you can verify that by squeezing it doesn't open. Why that is because I've flown with open carabiners.
It's no bueno?
No, it's not bueno at all.
What these again in your mind?
So these are your A's. A's are what essentially dictates how your wing inflates. So whenever you see me take off, and I'll have my A's in my hands, and I always keep them forward. That essentially pulls your, what's the front of the wing called? Starts with an L. Leading edge. And it pulls the leading edge up So go ahead and take a step back. Be right, always, and your biggest objective is to always be in the center of the wing. So if it's moving to your left, and you feel like it's tilting to your left, walk to your left and get centered. If it's going to the right, walk to your right and get it centered.
Got it.
So you have enough wind here. Go ahead, walk it back. Yep, you're gonna hold these out like this and pull it up, and as you're walking back. Ready, set, go. Walk back, keep walking back, keep walking back, keep walking back. Stay in the center, go to your left. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Nope, you're walking forward. That's a bad move. Let it come down, let it come down. Walk it forward a little bit.
Oh, it's curling. Oh God. Oh geez. We're going down.
So, the mistake you made there is you walked forward instead of walking back. So you
I was trying to stay in the middle.
Walk back as you're staying in the middle.
Oh.
Try that.
I don't have to be right under it?
You want to be under it, but you want to be walking back while you're staying under it.
Not forward.
Never go forward.
Why?
Because it'll deflate the wing. But you got your inflation was good, and you held your A's really good, which that was the biggest objective. So that was pretty good. So you remember how you build a wall? You'll essentially
Like I'm going up?
yeah, that's kind of the right premise. You always want to build a wall. So like right now, if you were to just to pull this up, it wouldn't inflate right. It'd be all funky. So you're gonna pull it back and then go forward once it builds up. So you'll feel it kind of like inflate, and then you're gonna walk it forward and let it build the wall.
Do I have to wait for a wind?
Wait for a little bit of a good wind. This might actually work. So walk it back, now walk it forward. Walk, keep walking forward, and keep walking forward, keep walking forward.
Right, yeah.
Yep, so that's a perfect wall.
Walking.
And then you wanna get your risers recentered. So, which way is this wind blowing in correlation to your glider? Pretty, I mean, it's kind of like that, but you might be able to inflate it.
Should we try?
We'll see if we get a good gust here. And the problem is there's like a bunch of rotor. You got these trees and these buildings, and this wind's coming over here and causing this goofy wind, so it's not really your fault if it doesn't inflate right. Yeah, you're right. But there is good news about these puppies. Yeah, so check the winds one more time. So you always want to see where. So what I would do, so you are right, obviously the wind is kind of blowing this way, and so if you were to inflate this, it would just fall to the right.
Right.
So what you want to do is you want to only bring up this riser, and you're going to kind of wait for a little wind gust, and we'll get recentered. Because if you were to bring up both, then it'll inflate. If you only bring up the side that the wind's blowing from, it'll keep that side down and allow you to build your wall better.
All right, let's see.
So you're going to kind of walk this back and then walk it forward. See, now you're in the direction of the wind. So now get centered up in the wing. So obviously you're there. Now take a few steps back, a little bit more to your right. And you want even, the biggest objective is when you inflate your wing, you want even tension on your A's.
Okay.
Because you're actually still just a little bit. There you go. Now take a step back to where you have even tension on your A's. And you're gonna walk it back now. Inflate, keep walking back, keep walking back, keep walking back. Stay in the center, keep walking back. Off the A's, just like, there you go, keep walking back. Let it walk forward, and boom. And you still have a wall. That was good. That was actually really good. Obviously that wasn't your fault because you had, the wind kind of died down.
Right.
But you had really good inflation and you stayed right in the center of your wing. So let's just wait for another good gust. And then you did everything exactly right. So you kept your A's, and as soon as the wind got above your head, let go of your A's, and then you'll transition to your brakes.
And what's your brake?
Your brakes are these guys right here. So these are your A's, B's, C's, and D's. And then your brakes. So this is what dictates the wing to turn. It'll essentially pull in the trailing edge of the wing, and that's what causes you to turn or stop.
And then is it a concern that this yellow line is tangled with my A's?
No, but that's a good point to matter. So you see, like, it's like this. So if you usually wiggle your A's, and
oh no, I'm making this one worse.
so, but you'll never be tangled if everything isn't connected
Okay, I got
correctly.
it.
See, yeah, there you go. You just, if it seems tangled, just wiggle it. And that's how you verify if you have a tangle or not. But if everything was connected non-tangled, you can't be tangled unless you were twisted.
Got it.
You have a breeze coming up here, so why don't you stay in the center? Pull up, keep pulling up, off the A's, walk back, walk back. And there she goes, she is down for the count. That's okay.
Now do I go on the
That wasn't really your fault because the wind died down
Can I
again.
go on the other side then? So I can flip?
Nope, you stay right where you're at. Try building a wall. Your goal is to, so obviously you want this side to inflate before that side. So what would you do?
Just this side.
That side, yep.
Do I need a little more grease?
Possibly. You might be able to do it. Give that side a kind of a yank to get the... Try that. Now walk it back as you do that, and then walk it forward if it seems to get... Now walk it forward. Walk it forward. Keep walking forward. No, you're fine. So the only downfall is that you turned away from the wind. You want to always turn into the wind. So try building your wall again, and you're going to swing to your left as you do that. So you have this, and you're going to do this. Just one, because we want to build a wall before you take off. Yep. Just that, not that one. And you're going to swing to your left as it inflates to where you think the wind direction is. There you go. Yeah, I mean, you're... Try it now. Walk it back as you do that. Try that. Right on there. Now walk it, see what it's doing. Yeah. And stay in the center. Walk it back as you're doing that. Off the A's. Now just stay in the center of it. And there she goes. Down for the count. Oh my god. Smidigotherfly. Så jag kör det. Evernessen är sådär. Se ta. And we just got pick up. Evernessen is oh my gosh, that's a body slam.
I was so impressed how far I walked backwards.
You're just like, I'm just gonna stay down here.
Oh, this is kind of nice.
Oh man, we got some good wind here though.
Oh shit. Okay. Well, it's all upside down.
All right, well let's fix that. That was a good inflation.
Thank you.
All right. Give it a shot once. Walk, stay in the center, keep walking it back. Stay in the center. Oh my gosh, look at you. That is perfect inflation. Now, stay right in that center. Now, let her down.
Let her go down?
Well, I mean, you're essentially just kiting it. That was awesome. That's completely okay. That was awesome. That was perfect inflation.
It wouldn't go down.
Well, that's what we want, isn't it? That's especially what she doesn't want.
Day till it gets windy.
They will literally, and sometimes they'll hike all the way up to the top of the mountain, and the wind conditions change, and they have to hike all the way back down.
Wow.
That's why I prefer, nothing against paramotoring. I love paramotoring, but
No, paragliding.
paragliding, it's all on the basis of what the wind is doing. But the positive point of paragliding is that it's natural. You're just catching thermals all day. You have no motor,
Like a
no
bird.
noise. Yep, you're like a bird.
I'm like a bird.
So what do you think of kiting so far?
Pretty fun.
You got your inflations down.
I did.
What do you feel like you could do differently?
Have better wind.
Better wind would help. Yep. Better wind will help.
And not walk forward.
That's.
What else did I do?
Well, you were pretty good about staying in the center, and then the wind would kind of overshoot you, which brakes would normally, you'll counter it once I teach you in the process of using brakes.
I need to learn how to use the brake.
But you got the wall built really good. You got the concept of where your A's are, and you got the concept of staying in the center. So like those are
inflated for the longest time ever.
Yeah, like those are three aspects that are like of the utmost importance when trying to get a wing. Like your goal is to get that wing above your head and have it stay there. And I think you're doing really good.
Thank you.
So maybe the next windy segment, then where the wing stability can actually stay above your head, then what we'll do is we'll introduce the brakes, because the more wind you have, you can literally lay here and the wing will stay inflated.
Wow.
And you can do nothing. You can, like, flying coastal areas like beaches, you have this sea breeze is all day long, it's consistent, and you're at sea level, we're at 6,000 feet, and you can just sit here and just kite your wing all day.
Cool.
But if you can kite up at this altitude, then you can kite anywhere.
Sweet.
It's very hard to kite a wing at this altitude because the air is super thin and the winds are obviously not favoring. So the next lesson, we're going to introduce brakes.
Okay.
And so, quick lesson recap. What is this setup right here? Starts with an R. R-I-S.
Risers.
Very good. And what are these?
Your A's.
A's. Excellent.
B's.
Yep.
D's nuts.
Well, almost. See these nuts.
Oh, I thought the blue ones were the D's.
They are. I was actually just pointing out the back part. I grabbed your butts so that you are correct. The blues are the back side of your riser. So you have this is your 4 parts to your riser.
That's a C's.
Yep.
I thought you were trying to trick me and went right for the D's.
No, you got it right. And then this is your brake toggles. That's what dictates your turn. And then on your riser, this is your trims. So the GTR has this massive trim.
What does that mean?
And that makes the wing where normally when they think of like an airplane, like that airplane has got a thing called flaps. And so that allows it to make steeper approaches, and it also produces more lift so you get off the ground faster. So when you take off or land, you always want to have your trims in. And when you let your trims out, it makes the wing do this. So it makes you go way faster. You also carry a lot more speed. And then this thing in the front right here that pulls, that action, that is for your speed bar attachment. That makes you go even faster. But you gotta be careful with speed bar because it can cause a wing collapse if you're in the wrong turn or if you're in the wrong air conditions.
But essentially, I could be a race pilot.
Yep.
Right?
These all the way out and your trim's all the way out, and this wing is hauling absolute butt. So good job today. We'll do part 2 once we get more wind.
Subscribe if you like Taco Bell.
Thanks for watching, guys. Wait for part 2.
Peace.